It's strange, isn't it? Winning a game and still walking away feeling unsettled? That's exactly where I am after West Ham's 2-1 victory over Wolves. It's not that I'm unhappy we won. Of course I'm happy for the 3 points, happy to see Souček and Bowen stepping up. But there's this nagging feeling I just can't shake. And trust me, I know some of you are already typing out your comments, ready to call me out, but I've got to be honest here. Deep down, I feel weird about it. It's not just the game, it's the bigger picture. This win keeps Lopetegui in the job, at least for now, but it's hard to ignore that lingering doubt. And here's where I get stuck. Do I need to give Lopetegui more time? Maybe I'm judging him too quickly. I mean, managers need time to implement their ideas, to really make a team their own. That's the rational way to look at it, right? But even when I try to put on that rational hat, it just doesn't feel like this is gonna work. It's a strange place to be as a fan. I want to back the manager, I want to believe things will improve, but I've got to be honest. I don't go into games feeling like we're actually going to win. That confidence, that belief that we're capable of getting a result just isn't there anymore, and that's the hardest part. Watching your team play, week in and week out, and not feeling that spark of hope, it's tough. But then I read comments like this one on my last video. A fan said, "I'm an outlier. I've enjoyed the season so far. I've enjoyed the high line, the pressing football, the 50% possession for virtually every game and the chances we're creating. I'm enjoying the uncertainty." And honestly, it made me stop and think, am I being too harsh? I mean, there's something to be said for a style of play that's more progressive, more exciting to watch at times. They even went on to say, Newcastle was the best I can remember a West Ham side play in at least the last 10 years. That's quite the statement, isn't it? That just hit me differently. It made me question, are we just too focused on the negatives that we're missing what others see? That's the nature of football though, isn't it? One fan's disaster is another fan's give it time. It just got me wondering, maybe it's not all doom and gloom. Maybe there's a silver lining I'm just not seeing right now. But if I'm honest, and on this channel I will always be honest, I don't feel that way. I feel numb, like I'm stuck in limbo, waiting for something inevitable to happen. Lopetegui staying feels like we're just delaying the inevitable. And the fact that his job is safe for now because of a narrow win against a poor Wolves side, it's crazy when you think about it. This wasn't a convincing victory, a VAR decision here, a slip up there, and the whole narrative could have shifted completely. It's hard to celebrate when you know it doesn't feel sustainable, and that's where my head is at. Before I continue, I just want to quickly say, I'm less than 20 subscribers away from hitting 1,000. It's honestly surreal to even be this close, and it would mean so much if you could help me get there. If you're enjoying the content, hit that like button and subscribe. It means more West Ham fans can find my channel, and that's who I make this content for, the West Ham family. Thank you for all the support so far. Right, back to the video. Watching West Ham right now, it's like I'm bracing for impact every game. Even when we win, I don't feel like we're building towards something. It feels more like we're clinging on, just hoping things don't collapse entirely. And maybe the weirdness of this win isn't just about the football, maybe the Antonio situation added to it. Seeing Souček and Bowen paying tribute to him after their goals was a touching moment, but it added an emotional weight to the match. And then the fight at the end, that just summed it all up, didn't it? A scrappy, chaotic finish to a scrappy, chaotic game. The whole thing just left me feeling conflicted. On the one hand, I want to hope. I want to believe that things can turn around. But on the other hand, it feels like we're just prolonging the inevitable. Lopetegui's sacking, it feels like it's coming sooner or later. Wins like this might buy him time, but they don't change the bigger picture. Then you look at tweets like this one from West Ham Central. 9 points off the relegation zone, 9 points off the Champions League places. Odd season. That sums it up perfectly, doesn't it? This season is just odd. We're not dreadful, but we're not inspiring confidence either. We're stuck in this weird middle ground where nothing feels certain. Or take this from Dan Lawless. That's an important 3 points, but if Lopetegui's job was based on that game, then he needs to go. We were nowhere near convincing enough against an awful Wolves side who probably should have had a penalty. Still no sign we can kick on and go on a run. It's hard to argue with that. Even in victory, there's this sense that we're just delaying the inevitable. And then there's this from comeonyouirons.com. Strangest feeling I've ever felt after a West Ham win. Always happy with 3 points, but beating a poor Wolves side like that doesn't really change anything and only further delays the inevitable Lopetegui sacking IMO. It's a strange mix of emotions, isn't it? I feel like every West Ham fan right now is experiencing some version of this confusion. Do we back him? Do we call time on his tenure? And what do we even want from this season? So where does that leave me? Honestly, I don't know. I feel like all I can do now is sit back and see what happens. I've stopped trying to predict where the season is going because at this point it feels impossible to call, and that's the strangest part. I've never felt this detached as a West Ham fan. I'm used to the highs and lows, the elation and heartbreak. But this This is something else entirely. I feel like I'm just going through the motions, waiting for the next chapter to unfold. What about you? How do you feel about all this? Do you think Lopetegui deserves more time, or do you feel like we're just delaying the inevitable? Let me know, because maybe hearing your thoughts will help me figure out mine. Right now, I'm just trying to make sense of it all. Football, eh? It never fails to keep you guessing. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really does mean a lot. The support has been incredible lately. People have been leaving such kind comments, subscribing, and it just goes to show how amazing our fan base is. Thank you so much for helping me get here. It means the world. Until next time.